Hello there. Do you smell fraud? I do. ACORN fraud. We're at the Las Vegas ACORN office right now, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this ACORN voter registration lie scandal. Let's go. I sat down and talked with Kimberly Olson, one of the ringleaders at this ACORN chapter. Unfortunately for her, I was about to blow the roof off with my hardball questions.
All right, here we are with Kimberly Olson at the Las Vegas ACORN chapter, which has come under a lot of scrutiny lately for a recent raid that happened. And why was that raid taking place again?
The Secretary of State wanted to see if we were participating in problematic cards. It was actually very surprising to us because we had been cooperating with the Secretary of State and the local Board of Elections from day one. The Board of Elections would tell us, oh, here's what we see as a problem. We would actually change our internal systems because we wanted to run a 100% type program.
But not everybody thought it was 100%. Meet ACORN's worst nightmare.
Deborah Caldera. I work for ACORN. We're doing voter registration.
Deborah Caldera, a whistleblower from the inside.
I'm through with ACORN. I mean, they're rip-offs. They're ridiculous. They don't run their business right. None of them even know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what each other's doing. Nobody knows what anybody else is doing.
Where do you think those forms came from?
Probably people that they hired to do, like me.
You're one of the people who's
Filled in
actually
anything.
out in the field,
Yeah.
so you probably knew some of these people that may have actually done that.
Actually, no. I didn't pay any attention. You know, I just went and did my job, came in, turned mine in, left, went home. They don't know what each other's doing. Nobody knows what anybody else is doing. I didn't pay any attention. Nobody knows. I didn't pay any attention.
Then she blew the whistle on how thorough and responsible ACORN was with their voter registration cards.
They did have a place in the back where they called every card that we turned in and asked the person, actually, did you really register to vote? And asked them, you know, their social and their place that they lived and if they signed the card, and they said yes. They tried 4 or 5 times to call and get a hold of the person. They did have people that did call on every card that was turned in. ACORN did try.
Your employees don't really have a quota to meet for registration numbers, so how do you think this happened? Some of these cards, like with the Dallas Cowboys registration, and there's a Mickey Mouse in Florida that registered.
That actually wasn't us. Mickey Mouse was not us. It really killed us during the time, but we kept very immaculate, very good records of every single card we ever turned in.
Let's say I filled out 100 voter registration forms right now, and I handed them to you and said, hey, these are mine. Are you forced to turn those in by state law, or how does that work?
Well, unfortunately now the voter registration deadline has passed, and so you actually can't register. But, I mean, yes, generally speaking, unless you are 100% sure that that card is not valid, you have to turn it in by law.
By whose law?
Do you know in many states they have what's called no match, where you turn in a voter registration card and you have to match to what the Social Security Administration has on file, your social. And they have a 24% error rate. So that means our Social Security Administration is disenfranchising, potentially, a 24% error rate. We had a 1% error rate. So when people want to talk about people being disenfranchised, we should be looking at what the real problems are and not about the 1% of the bad cards that were turned in a 1.3 million voter reg drive. If anyone wants to know anything about ACORN, you should go on our website, www.acorn.org. There's probably an ACORN chapter where you live.
Nice try with your facts, ACORN. But you'll find out soon that slander and opinion will prevail. This is Barrett Applegate.